Hey guys, it's week 61. This week I introduced some extra safety features. I talk about removing 11,000 lines of code, and I make a plan to increase my prices on the Wix platform. Last week I shared a tough customer support issue that really put me out for a day. Watch my last video for the full bit, but long story short, Dropboard is missing a few steps that would have made debugging this a lot easier. The first one is more safety around deleting files, like resumes for candidates. When you delete a job on Dropboard, all the candidates for that job are deleted as well, and that includes their resume. And while our database has a running 7-day backup, deleted files were being removed within about 20 minutes of the time when you deleted the job. This is a little bit dangerous because if there ever was a data recovery issue, you wouldn't be able to go get those files back, though you would be able to get the database records back. So now I'm moving files to a trash folder on Amazon S3 instead of actually deleting them. And then I have a lifecycle management rule in S3 that will automatically delete them after a period of days. This way, if there's any kind of dispute or some sort of issue, there'll be a bit of a buffer to find those files and be able to recover them. The second safety feature is an action table in the database. This table keeps track of high-level user-initiated actions like changing an email address, inviting a team member, or deleting a job. And this data is meant to give a chronological history of an organization's actions so that we can debug when errors happen, investigate issues that might actually turn out to be user error, and it actually also serves as a way to gain insights into how features are being used so we can optimize. On day 231 of my journey, I told you guys how I was investigating app marketplaces as a way to connect with customers. I took a stab in the dark and I chose 2 platforms to start with, Wix and Shopify. At first, Shopify felt more promising because I was really impressed with their app interface from an end user perspective. And the Wix support team actually told me that job boards don't do so well on the Wix platform. Essentially, they said, don't get your hopes up. And as things got going, Shopify turned out to be a really bad developer experience. But eventually, and after paying a $99 one-time fee, I got listed. And at the same time, I published on Wix. There were some clunky parts to working on their platform for sure, but I got up and running much faster and signups started pretty much the second I got listed. On the other hand, Shopify gave me almost no traffic. I had to create a whole new way of delivering the app, reusing code was much trickier, and debugging issues was a big headache. So in March, I decided that the experiment was over and Wix won handily over Shopify. Normally, I wouldn't shut something down that I worked really hard to build and could maybe eventually turn into sales. But the way the Shopify integration had to be done was really bad for code maintenance. And when no one's really using your product, it becomes a big waste. Dead code is not good for the maintenance of your platform, and almost never used code is just about as bad. So I went through the sunsetting procedures outlined by Shopify, and in just a few days from now, it'll officially be dead. So this week I removed over 11,000 lines of code to clean up the code base and pull Shopify out of there. And it felt like cleaning out my attic. It was painful and also really refreshing. For my product hunt launch last month, I realigned my prices a little bit with what I've been seeing in the market, and because Dropboard's offering has improved a lot. Like most SaaS platforms, I'm making yearly pricing the focal point of my plans. So instead of offering my monthly plans at X dollars a month and a 20% discount for going yearly, I'm flipping this a little bit and I'm offering my yearly plans at X dollars per month and having customers pay 20% more for the convenience of a monthly plan. Whenever you launch your product, there's always a little bit of guesswork to figuring out where the sweet spot is for your market. And that's really what this is about. I think this puts Dropboard right where it needs to be and the dust can settle on this and we can leave it for a while. And raising prices can be really scary, but in my experience, it's much more successful than you'd think. There is a breaking point where customers won't buy as much, but you can always walk prices back. So the next thing in my plan is to raise my Wix prices to match my SaaS offering. So I'm gonna go from $7 a month, which is where I was with Wix, to $9 a month if paid annually. So $11.25 for the convenience of paying monthly. And that's for the starter plan. And then for the business plan, it's gonna go from $19 a month to $19 a month if you pay annually, and $23.75 if you pay monthly. I have a little bit of nervous energy about doing this on Wix because there are a lot of small businesses on Wix, but I also feel like for sustainability of the platform, I need customers to pay this sort of minimum amount. Also on Wix, you can't increase prices for existing customers. You can only do it for new purchases. In a typical SaaS environment, I would probably give customers a notice about when we're going to be raising prices and then maybe even offer them a way to purchase a yearly plan to kind of lock in their pricing. But with Wix, it just doesn't work that way. That's just not how their marketplace works, which is actually good because that means I'm not really fretting about raising prices on existing customers. I'm really just focused on new customer acquisition. So that is it for this week. So as I mentioned, the raising of my prices will be the next thing I do, and we'll see how this affects purchases and growth. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next week.